Anyway, alright. Obviously, my wife feels that I have a point about racism. So, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and say my view on racism. Why is there racism? Well, from my point of view and a few others, um, racism is because people don't understand one another. They're afraid to learn one another. They're afraid to understand one another. And they don't want to take the time out to really figure it out because it's easier to write something off than it is to learn about something. And anything that you fear is because you don't understand it. There's a lot of um, race tension, I guess you could say, in America and across the world and everything, which can actually be gone if everybody just start wondering, why do you do things? It's very simple. Just because everybody does things differently means nothing. To understand why they do it, maybe you can get where they're coming from. So, white people, if somebody calls you a racist, rather than getting offended or getting upset or, you know, saying racist things to back up that point, ask a
Or
black person
defend.
or defend that point. Ask a black person or any person, why would you call me that? What makes you say that? Because obviously black people, as well as many other races, and this is not just a black and white issue. This is, I mean, Chinese people hate Japanese people. There's all sorts of different types of racism within races. Um, Light skinned black people, dark skinned black people. Um, it goes on and on. Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Colombians. All of this is ridiculous. All because of the fact that you feel that you want to be better than the next. How come you all can't be great at the same time? How come you all can't bring something to the table? What's the problem? Everybody can have something to bring to the table. Nobody's inferior. That's just the way you feel about yourselves. So, rather than sit around and fight about who is the best at whatever and trying to constantly overtop each other, how about we try to understand one another? Why do we think these why do we think the way we do? Why do black people think the way they do? Why do white people think the way they do? Why do Asian people think the way they do? Don't assume, because you know what they say about assuming. Just ask. If somebody had a problem with you and you didn't know about it, no matter what color they were, you would want to know. So, just ask. If there's no fear in asking, then maybe we can fix a little of these issues that we have, these misconceptions of each other. Try to learn, understand, and black people, calm down. Sometimes we get a little overzealous about things. We think everybody is racist against us, and probably because of the fact of the history. But instead of getting angry and upset and calling somebody a racist, how about showing them the better side of us? Show them the fact that rather than yelling at them and wanting to beat them up and shit like that, how about we just intellectually inspire a conversation with them and find out, why do they think that way? And then intellectually talk to them to get them to see certain things that we see. So we have to learn one another. That's the only way to get past it. Stop being afraid and start asking questions. It's simple as that. If you don't want to be that simple, then you are the one that's making life difficult. Your life is difficult because of the choices you make. So you have to be the ones to live with it. But truth be told, when we're all on our deathbed, does it matter who's the one that saved you? That's all I really got to say.
Okay, so if a white person comes up to you and asks you, as a black man,
Mm-hmm.
why are black people saying things like reverse racism or says to you, you're racist, what is your answer to that? Or how do you reply to that? Or what's your...
Well, first and foremost, again, like I said, I would ask him, well, why would you think that? What brings you to that conclusion? What have I discussed that's not true? That didn't happen, or what have you? Am I calling you a racist? You have to understand the mentality of people. And in order to understand that, you have to ask questions. You have to see where they're coming from. You have to figure that out. Reverse racism is bullshit. Okay? Bottom line, that's somebody that came up with an encyclopedia term that they want to put on, just like Ebonics. Okay? It's slang. It's always been slang. It's never not been slang, and every culture has slang, no matter what language you speak. It's slang, period. It's just what it is, okay? Stop changing it and confusing people. But the very fact that you really have to find out, why is the person thinking that way? What is their mentality? What have they been taught? What have they seen? Some people have a legitimate reason to be angry. You know, it's not to say that everybody's that way, but if somebody's been jumped by 10 black guys, I'd be scared too. But it's our job to show them that we're not those 10 black guys. We're not the ones that did it. And it's kind of fucked up that they did it. And bottom line, if we was with you, it wouldn't have happened.
So, what do you mean
Reverse racism?
racism is bullshit?
Because it's just racism. Period. Doesn't matter where it comes from. Reverse racism is black people on white people on black people. Doesn't matter. It's racism. Call it what it is. All these other extra terms is ridiculous. And that's what keeps us from solving the problem, because everybody wants to argue about the term, but not what causes the symptoms. It's like your doctors. They just want to put patches on you. They're not curing you. They're just putting patches on you. But anyway, that's a whole different ballgame.
That's another dose of Jimmy Juice.
And those are my personal experiences, by and large. But anyway, let's get past all of this. I'm mixed, okay? And I love everybody. At least I try to. Even if you have an attitude with me, even if you don't like me, I can respect that. I can understand that. If you tell me why you don't like me, I ask for you to give me an opportunity to at least apologize. If you don't, then so be it. That's our ground, and we stand there. We respect each other. It's okay to agree to disagree. It's okay to have discussions and stop wanting to rule over one another. Why don't you try hearing each other out? It's not about whose word is right. It's about trying to find the truth. Because everything that you guys are fighting over is perception. Period. Perception. You don't even have the truth. You're fighting over what you perceive to be. But until you literally go and spend time with that person, find out who that person is, find out what their culture is, find out what their family, their friends, what they truly believe in. Doesn't matter what religious belief, doesn't matter. You guys are putting labels, and you're segregating yourselves by choosing sides. Period. You're doing it to yourselves because you want to be special. And to be special, you got to be different. And to be different, you got to choose. That's ridiculous. Because at the end of the day, guess what? It doesn't matter what color you are. You're all going to die. Alright? Simple. Clean, cut, and dry. Nobody, no matter what color, no matter what skill level, no matter how much money you have, you're all going to the same place. Period. Death. And until somebody special can do that, none of y'all are better than the next. Because that is the ultimate goal. How to cheat death. If you can come up with that, then you deserve the credit. Not your race, not everything else, but you. But until then, all of y'all motherfuckers is just sitting out there arguing just so you can vent off steam because you're not having sex enough. Go have sex. Go smoke a joint. Go do something. Go find peace. Go find some ease of mind rather than some bitterness. It's easy to go have a drink and watch a game. You know? Anger...
Enjoy life.
Yes, enjoy life. Anger takes off of your life. Period. It's stress. And stress is the number one killer of all people. Period. Doesn't matter what color you are. Find your peace. If you find your peace within you, then a lot of things you don't have to deal with. But be yourself. Ask questions. Get to know things. Get to know people. If you can get to know about your religion, you can get to know about somebody else's religion. You can get to know about that person. You get to know, it doesn't even have to be on a religious scale. It could be just on a personal scale. Get to know the human being. Yeah, there's plenty of assholes out here. Everybody's an asshole at one point in time or another. If you were born, you was born an asshole. Okay? Period. It's simple. We all have our mood swings. We all have our reasons for why we feel. But basically, you have to consider the other person's feelings as well. What did they do to you to inspire that? If they didn't, then they don't deserve it. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And it's as simple as that. People will stop talking about race when it's taken and learned and understood and all the fears are gone. And when somebody doesn't feel that just because they're black they can dance better than a white person, or a white person feels when they see a black person that they're going to mug them, all of these things. Every individual has a different personality. Find out why. A lot has to do with their upbringing, what they were taught, what they went through. Everybody has some demons in a closet. Everybody has a past. Your past is what shapes your thinking for the future. So, nobody's born a murderer. Nobody's born a thief. Nobody's born to hate somebody. It's all taught. So, you have to understand and have some type of compassion to listen to other people's problems. Because you might find out you guys have the same problem, just in different ways. And people's lives cross each other for reasons. Learn from them. If you're not learning, then what good are you?
That's it.
That's it.
Say bye to the people.
Bye, people.